Okay, so welcome everybody. I'm Coach Louise, and this is our weekly team call for Team Vitality Alliance. Thank you everyone for joining us. I know it's kind of a late time frame, but we've been trying to mix up the times to see what works best for people and just so other people can get on. We've got people in all kinds of time zones and varying schedules, so trying to make it work for everybody to be able to get on. And of course, this call is recorded, so if you're watching it, as we go along, participate when you're watching it, and then if you have any questions, talk to your sponsor coach or comment below, because we'll be obviously checking in on this. So tonight's team call, first of all, we do like to do, and we will start having a more structured format as far as the beginning of our team calls with having recognition and shout outs. So we just ended a month, so we will be posting up there who achieved Success Club or how many Success Club points, which equates to how many lives you affected over the last month. So we will post that up in our team page here. And the other things that we will, make sure to announce in the beginning is like any training that we have come up, any groups that we have starting where we can all, invite to, any breaking news that everybody needs to know about, any events that are coming up, like Super Saturday is this weekend. So hopefully everybody that can be in Anchorage is going to make that Saturday, and all coaches should be at UAA Wells Fargo Sports Center at 9 a.m. And then we have the free portion of that Super Saturday event is for any customers that we have or anybody who may be interested in joining one of your challenge groups but wants to know for more information. This is a great way for them to, kind of get a feel for the culture and for the programs and just be able to face-to-face with them. So definitely invite them to join us, and it's free for them. The workout, I think, starts at 11, so have them just show up a few minutes before that. So that's the event for this weekend. So if there's anything else up, coming up, we'll definitely announce that. I think that was it. Oh, once we do this weekly 12-week year and we kind of define our weeks, we will kind of at the beginning of the meetings talk about what your score was for your previous weeks, or for your month, how you, with what you had lined out in your weekly plan and your monthly and 12-week goals, where you are with them. And it's a self scoring. So this isn't to try to, make it feel like, oh, I didn't meet my score, to, self-effacing or anything like that. This is just to be able to help you. Like if there's an area that you're not meeting like at 85%, and we'll talk about this more on the call, then it just shows an area where you may need more training or more help, or it's a good way to see where your coach can help you with whatever activities that you need to help you grow your business and to help your customers. So we'll
Hey, Louise.
Yeah.
Louise, do you have your week thing?
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
So
you guys check this out. Louise has this, and I'm going to get one.
This is my mouse pad. And so it's just my awesome week, and I can line it out for the week and then the weekend and any special stuff down here. And so it's really good because it's just right in front of me.
Barnes & Noble, she said, you guys.
Yeah. So then we'll do the weekly plan here on the 12-week year. So I don't know. I did upload to the Team Vitality Alliance Google Docs the 3 lessons that we'll kind of run through real quickly. And I don't want to keep everybody too long. We'll go through it. And let me just say, I am not the expert on the 12-week year. I just happen to have listened to the audio. I have the book. I've read through it. I really like the premise of this. And, I'm always looking at a way to streamline. And one of the big keys out of this is if you make a plan and work your plan, then you can walk away knowing that you did what you needed to do because your plan is based on your goals. And it's not a matter of willpower because you have that structure in there. Just do what you have on your plan, and we talk about the time use at the end. So it just kind of way to line things out, have that plan, have that focus. Your plans are in direct alignment with your goals. And then you have this time use, which is a lot with the buckets that Nani has talked about before. And I think he calls them, we talk about pockets and where we can fill in our pockets. And he calls them blocks. So it's really in line with what we're doing. So, so the first thing, so there was these worksheets that you could download from the Team Vitality Alliance Google Docs. The first one is lesson 1, and it's vision and plan. So it's important for you to establish your vision, because you have to, as we know, you have to have your powerful reason why. To be able to commit to doing the how part of this. And everything that we do as coaches is really at its core in the most simple form. It is very simple what we do. You know, we work out, we drink a shake, we eat healthy, and we share our journey, and we invite people to join us. So really the activities that we do are pretty simple, but fitting it into our busy lifestyle and then the other things like distractions and objections and all that is what can kind of make it seem more complex. So with that, sometimes we get those things that come at us, even though we've got, you know, a good reason, or we know what we're supposed to be doing, we lose sight of why we're doing it. So it's important to establish your vision. So in a second, I'm going to put the timer on and just have you just jot down everything that comes to your mind on what your long-term vision is. So we'll get to that. But so if you get the Audible and you're reading through it, that's the one thing, you know, I would highly suggest getting it. Because when you're establishing your vision and you want your vision to be big, and when we start imagining big things for ourselves, just automatically we start to think they're impossible. Like for our nature is that's impossible because they are big things, but we want to think big. So we need to go from impossible to possible. So when you are thinking about all these big things that you're going to jot down and what your long-term aspirations are and where you see your life and what it looks like, you know, in the long-term vision, don't hold back, because we're going to work through that in that belief system. So, so when, you know, at the beginning, you might ask, how can I do this? Which just further feeds our doubt, because we're thinking about how can I, which really, in the back of our mind, we're thinking that you can't do it. And here's the thing is, if you could do it right now, you would be doing it. So you have to have this vision. You have to have that driver behind you, and then you have to have the plan. So this is what we're going to get to. So instead of asking, you know, like, how can I do this? Which is almost like dreadful. Ask, what if? Like, take away, what if? So when you look at all those big goals that you want, what if those came true? What would your life look like? What would, you know, what difference would that make to your life, to your family, to your friends, to how you help your customers, to your community? You know, just everything that you do, and how would that be different for you? So you want to look at things like, what if it were possible? Like, and just imagine that it is. So you have to have that, you know, give yourself permission to entertain that it is possible for you. So that's where we go from impossible to possible, because the vision that vision you see needs to crack the door open to your future. All right. So, so then we start to think things are possible, because if you can envision it, you can start to believe it. Then we can ask how, and how becomes our weekly plan, which is what we're going to get to. So if we go now, and the other thing I want you to keep in the back of your mind while we're going through all of this is how it relates. Think about your own fitness journey and how you felt in the beginning of your fitness journey. Like how I can't do these workouts, or the first time you did your first workout, I was like, oh my God, you know, I'm never going to make it to the end of this program. I'm never going to lose the weight. This changing up this whole diet and using these little containers. This is you know, but then we use the same kind of philosophy when we're talking with our challengers. Like, what how are you going to feel when you achieve your goal of losing 10 pounds? Like, how is that going to feel? What's it going to look like? How is life going to be different? So I want you to think about these things for yourself too, and thinking about what your fitness journey was, and any doubts that you had then and what it's like now, because things are different, especially if you've been doing a program for a while, or you've been doing start to finish, you've been following the eating plan, you've been drinking your Shakeology. I'm pretty sure you're feeling a lot different than you were from day one. So just know, when we think things are impossible, yeah, at the time it might feel like that. But if you have a plan, and if you stay connected with people that are working alongside you, if you have, you listen to your coach and you do the activity and do the things, surround yourself with the people that are doing it, you will get to that. It's possible. And then you go from possible to probable, and then you go to given, like this is going to happen. We just fuel that fire. So think about that. Relate it to your journey, your fitness journey, because our business is a lot the same. We go through those same kind of things.
So you guys, example of the what if is basically, so when you're talking to people, you have to go, what if you were to lose to 20 pounds by spring? Can you imagine walking the beach? Because you would know that this girl, whatever their goals are, right? So you know how you're like, what are your goals? How will you feel when you reach your goals? And they're like, oh God, I want to lose 50, 60 pounds. Well, why do you want to lose 50, 60 pounds? Well, because I want to go to, the beach and da-da-da. And then you're like, okay, well, how, this is how we're going to do it. And then you give them the results. You don't tell them challenge pack, you give them your results, right? They just want the results. And then you're like, well, imagine what if you were to do the 30 minutes of this, of that, of that. And can you imagine walking that beach then? Oh, yeah. So that's an example, you guys, when you write down your what ifs.
Yeah. And then you can relate your journey. Like, you felt that way. That's how I felt. But what I found is, here's what happens. Here's my experience. So, so when we build our why, you want to reconnect with it daily, right? That's what's going to fuel your fire and get you motivated. It's our energize. It's what's going to pump us up. And it like, if you're going to be talking with people, you want to have your vision in front of you, because you want to project and have that enthusiasm and that excitement when you're talking with other people. You want that belief in what coaching and what Beachbody programs have done for you. You want to be able to portray that when you're talking, right? So it's important to reconnect with your vision daily. It's that emotional connection that will keep you in the game when the going gets tough. Okay, so we're going to look at our vision. We're going to break it down into long-term, midterm, which is about 3 years, according to the book, and then 12 weeks. So we're going to take 2 minutes right now. Get your paper and your pencil out, and just like I did this earlier, and you just want to just scribble it down. Just write down everything. And let's see. And I'll put the timer on. Oops.
I was doodling.
So think about all the things you want to have, to do, and to be in your life, right? What is most important to you physically, spiritually, mentally, relationally, financially, professionally, personally? How much time freedom do you want? What income do you need? And remember, think big, think great.
To have, to do, and what?
To be. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And are we supposed to be doing this in different segments, like 3 years, 1 year, 12 weeks?
No, this is just a long-term aspiration of your very long-term, because then we can break that down, because some things you might be able to put into this 12-week that we plan, and some might be your 3-year plan, and some may be way out there. But we'll just jot down everything you can think of, and we'll go for it. 2 minutes.
And then Louise is going to reverse engineer us.
That's right. Yep. Okay, that's 2 minutes. Sorry, my son says I'm too loud. We're holed up in the spare bedroom, trying to be quiet. Okay, so you have your list. And what's wonderful is like, this is your list. Like you get to take ownership of this. These are your goals. And, you know, some may be way out there, but some you can start working on now. You know, hopefully you have personal goals and professional goals, your business goals. You might have goals that affect your family. You know, like some of mine are just having that time freedom, and retiring my husband so we can travel more with the whole family can travel. I want our forever home and a vacation home. You know, I want to be able to have volunteer time. I want to be able to do a retreat with the team, like somewhere nice and, you know, big and fun. And then I want a personal chef. And, you know, and I want to be a 15-star elite, consistent and solid, right? So,
Steady and steady.
yeah, right. So obviously that's a longer term goal. Most of these are, but what we do is then you take what you connect to emotionally, the strongest connection emotionally to these things. And then we're going to, if you have the sheet, and if you don't, you can print it out. We're going to pick our 3 goals that we want to achieve. So in these worksheets, it doesn't really give you, like in the book, it has a place for more like your midterm goals, but you can take from this sheet what's long-term, what's midterm, and you can kind of define those. What we want to look at is just, you know, what can we do right now? What can we achieve in the next 12 weeks? And I would definitely include a professional goal in there, your business goal. I've included a personal goal, which happens to be, you know, about completing the Chisel 21-day fixed country heat journey with Autumn. I want to complete that because it's important to complete things start to finish and have that transformation, because that actually is going to help me with some of my other goals, right? So you pick the 3 goals that you want to work on in this 12 weeks. And let me just say, I say 3, but he says, you know, if the number isn't magic. Like you could have one major goal, you just want to totally focus on this one goal. You may have 5, but what you want to be clear not to do is to get too many, because if you start stretching yourself thin, then you're not going to be focusing on anything enough. The 12-week year, what the premise is behind this is that, you know, like we set annual goals, 12-month goals, and then people are gung-ho in the beginning of the year. They kind of lose out momentum. And then say in March, you're like, well, where am I with my annual goal, my yearly goal? Well, I'm not quite there, but I still have 9 months left. So there's really no sense of urgency. So you don't really take action on it. And then you come up to like June, you're halfway through the year and you're still like not really progressing towards your goal. And then you're thinking, okay, I better probably start getting busy now. I've only got 6 months left, but now you've wasted the whole 6 months. And then a lot of people get down to that last quarter of the year and then they book butt, right? Trying to achieve the things that they were supposed to achieve all year long. What this is just creating that sense of urgency and focus in 12-week time frames. So once we do this 12-week, then he suggests, take this time to celebrate your achievement, regroup, redefine what your next set of 12-week goals are, and build that new plan. So just think about this, and here's like in your what if. So whatever you pick for this 12 weeks, see yourself achieving that, because you're going to define the weekly and the daily things that you need to do. And see yourself achieving that. And then we're going to get to the next 12 weeks, and you're going to pick another set of goals, and you're going to define those and focus on those. Can you imagine at the end of the year, if you did this consistently, how much more you would achieve in the entire 12 months that you normally would not have done. So it's really important to break it up down, into smaller pieces.
That's why I want to get that week thing that she has for her mouse, because I'm just going to go week to week to week to week.
Well, and that's what happens when you do this, and then yay. He wants you to calendarize it so that you could do that on here. And part of the weekly routine is taking 15, 20 minutes, scheduling that in either Sunday night or Monday morning, and make sure you look at your weekly plan, your 12-week plan, what you have to do, and make sure your week is set out to do those things, right? Okay, so pick your couple of goals that you're going to work on in this 12 weeks. So mine are to rank 1-star diamond, which means I'm going to help my husband get to diamond, which means that's automatically going to increase my income by 25%. So that kind of rolls into a really nice goal. The other one I have is to complete the rest of this Fit Journey with Autumn, the Chiseled 21-Day Fix in Country Heat. And then I'm also doing a Facebook like page training. I'm going to start that up, and I want to focus on that. So I think those things combined will help me in the big picture. That's what we're looking at. So pick the ones that you want to kind of plan out, and then you got to ask yourself why those are important to you. Again, it's that emotion and that connection to that emotion and to that vision, that big what if, that's going to keep you doing these the activities, right? And if you hit your goals, how would you celebrate it? Like, think about that. And then if you print the sheets out, it has a spot for you to write that down. Part of your weekly routine, when you're looking at your vision, reconnecting with your vision, you can look at that piece on why it's important to you and how you would celebrate it. And again, remember, connecting this with our fitness journey, and like how we coach our customers. This is the kind of stuff we tell our customers, but sometimes we don't do it ourselves in other areas of our life. So just know, as we're going through this, breaking it down, that this is in the book, a good plan today is better than a perfect plan tomorrow. Because if you're always waiting for that perfect plan or some better system, and you're just not taking action now, again, you're wasting time, right?
Right. And it's like Jim Rohn says, he's like, never mind the last 6 months. That doesn't portray who you are, the past, just from today on. Mm-hmm. So making your guys' plans. I'm going to share this real quick. So Louise has us doing our thing. So this is my goals right here. So I just went and made my goals like this, you guys. So Louise has us in 12 weeks. So there's January, February, March. That's my 12-week right here. And now I'm going to do, like she said, I'm going to put it on paper, and I'm going to write what my goals are, because that really doesn't tell anybody anything. So I'll go ahead, and I'm similar to her, where what do I want to have? Freedom to do and all this stuff right here. But in order to get to what I want to have, and you have to do your how. You have to go ahead and work. So that's like Shailene Johnson teaches us, that you have to have your push goal. So
yeah. And so that's what this is. And we love Shailene, and we love the push goal concept. And that's what this is, because you define what your goal is, and then you look at the daily activities that are going to get you to that goal. So those are like mini push goals. You do those, and you do them consistently, and it's going to get you to that goal. And in doing that, keep in your mind, you take the action, forget about the outcome. Okay? If you consistently take the action, the outcome and the results are going to follow. Same with our fit journey, right? Like, you got to keep doing it even when the scale's not budging, kind of thing. Okay, so develop your 12-week plan. You got your goals. If you got the worksheets out, it's got like a place where you can do 1, 2, 3 goals, and then you can write out the things that you need to do to get to that goal, the time frame that you're going to do them in, and then you're going to end up scoring yourself on that. But this is a way for us to work smarter and not harder, because like I said, these are simple things. Logically, they're simple things. And if you tell yourself you don't really need a plan or you don't need to write it down, guaranteed you are not going to hit your goal. You're going to work hard. And I'm telling you, testimony. You know,
but doing really good, Louise, for not having any uplines.
Yeah, right. I mean, we've had to figure it out like from scratch.
Yes. And then now look at our team.
Yeah.
You know, so we're making all of you guys hit the ground running, and we're still like making sure that we all hold your guys' hands and we cross the line together. Because you guys, you got to remember, to lead, you need to walk across the line with everyone. You know, if you're going to run ahead and be up on the mountain and look down and go, come on, nobody wants to come. It's a team. So we'll all move together. So yeah, so do this 12-week. Louise is probably going to share screen and show us how to get to it. So for those of you girls that don't have it, she can share screen. So you guys want to take notes on how to get your documents.
Yep.
That goes with the 12-week book that she's talking about. Okay.
Okay, let me share my screen.
Take your notes.
The having the worksheet helps because it also gives you, kind of walks you through it too. Oh, sorry. Okay, here we go. So you go into our Team Vitality Alliance Gmail. I have it already set, so it just goes straight in there, but it's Team Vitality Alliance at gmail.com. And the password is capital A, Alaska, 1234, exclamation point. So you get in here, and you got all these 9 dots over here. It's the gateway into our portal.
Yeah, there you go, gateway.
Yeah, because in here is a lot of great stuff, like our team calendar. But you want to go to Google Drive. So it's our document central for lots of great stuff. So now you've got access to a lot of great information. So you see we have it lined out with different folders for different topics. In here's, invitation and objections and some templates on scripts and conversations you can have, free group information, all kinds of stuff. So go ahead and go in here and look around. But the 12-week year lessons are in here for belief system and goal setting. So you have lessons 1, 2, and 3. Lesson 1 is the vision that we did. And I'll just open it up. So vision and plan. So I see he takes you through it. There's a lot of, walks you through that all. Here's where you put why they're important to you. And then, so here's where we're at with establishing what your goal is for the next 12 weeks. He has space for 3 goals. I mean, I would keep it to 3, 4, I wouldn't get too many, because unless you're working this business full time, like if you've got a full-time job outside of the home, your amount of time that you had to spend on Beachbody coaching is less. So you don't want to overwhelm yourself, because then what happens is you don't achieve, you're not meeting what you said you were going to do, and then mentally we just kind of start shutting down. So here my first goal was to rank 1-star diamond for my husband, and I'm going to actually move you guys. Here we go. Stop share. I don't know if you guys can see me well. Okay, so what I did is, I wish I could have screenshot this or something, but so I have it. And what I did, because I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
Well, but what I did, because, to get to, basically what I'm doing is my husband's getting to diamond, and how does he get to diamond is he needs 4 coaches on each side, and 2 of those coaches, 1 on each leg, needs to be emerald. So I had to look at where he's at now and how many coaches he needs to achieve diamond rank, which then makes me 1 star, right? So you have to know what your numbers are as far as if you're doing a goal like this. So I know that to be solid, I need 11 coaches, which is what I want. So 1 coach a week. And so I put down, one of my goals is, well, first, how do you get coaches? Well, you have to present the business opportunity, and then you establish how many times you're going to do that. I have to talk with current challengers and seeing if they want to be a preferred customer and get the discount. I need to invite so many people every day to the challenge group, because those are the people that I'm going to be talking to. So you have to break it down on what activities are going to get you to your 1 goal. Does that make sense to everyone?
So you guys see, so it's like her goal is to get her husband to diamond, right? But her push goal is, I need to go into my challenger groups. I need to see who wants to go and do the discount. I want to see who wants to do the business. Because sometimes you go into your challenge thing and they're like, yeah, Amber, I want to do what you're doing. You're losing all this weight, and are you coaching? I want to do that. There you go. So that's your push goal. So your goal is always going to be a goal, but you always need a push goal, which is the how. So keep that in mind, okay?
Yeah. So, and then, and I set those up. So with the due date is going to be, you're either doing them daily, you're doing them weekly, you're doing them monthly. Presenting my business opportunity, my goal is to present that. The push goal is 2 times a week. So to 2 people a week. So that's 2 times each week I'm presenting the business opportunity. So for me to hit that 100%, I need to be able to track that I'm presenting that 2 times a week. So at the end of the week, when I look at how many people did I talk to about the business opportunity, if I only talk to 1, then I'm only hitting 50% of that goal, right? So then I can identify I need to step that up. So, okay, so that's an example of one of my goals. But I don't know, I think everybody, Jolene, Amber, Sonia, are relatively new coaches. So say you want to become emerald, you have to have a coach on each side, right? So what does that mean? So you have to identify that. And would be inviting people to your challenge group, offering them the preferred customer discount, letting people know, having those conversations of, hey, if they look like people that you would want, or who would be interested in the coaching business, have you ever considered doing what I do kind of conversations? So we're not going to figure out all the nitty gritty tonight, but these are things that you want to talk to your coach about. Here's what the goal I want. Let's roadmap this. What do I need to do? And then figure out, your accountability piece. Hey, Sonia. Hi. Yeah, she's my coach.
Well, I actually have a quick question.
Okay.
So what's the next rank above an emerald coach, and what does that look like?
You're going straight to diamond. We don't do ruby.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And they've done away with ruby. So you either are like a emerald or a 1 emerald or 2 emerald or something like that. And it just means how many people do you have on your legs. But we just focus on getting to emerald, and then we just focus on that goal of getting to diamond. Because
what's diamond?
Diamond is 4 coaches on each leg, and then you have to have an emerald on each leg.
So you go emerald, and you go emerald again, and you go emerald again, and you go emerald again. That's all you guys need to remember. You just go emerald again, emerald again. You teach yours to go emerald again and emerald again. How's emerald? Amber, you need to be here. You need to have your mom and your dad here.
I have a question on that too. When you're saying that you have to having the coach on each side, what does that mean?
There's a right leg and a left leg. So you're here and you have a right leg and a left leg. So you need to have a balanced recruiting of a coach on one side and a coach on another. And so that
Amber, you haven't had a PSR call yet.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So we'll get you on the GSR call, and then that way that's what we're going to go through. That's what a GSR calls. So we have to just set one up, Amber, and then you're going to be set. I already have the other girl to set you up, and then we go what the benefits of Emerald is.
Okay. So when Nani says go Emerald, go Emerald, go Emerald. So what you want to do is go Emerald, and you want your coaches to go Emerald.
What if I saw that?
You want their coaches to go Emerald, and their coaches to go Emerald, right? Because if everybody keeps going Emerald, that means everybody's recruiting. And if you just keep duplicating just that very simple thing of coach on right side, coach on left side, coach on right side, coach on left side, coach on right side, coach on left side, you're going to end up at diamond. And if you're teaching your coaches that are on right and left side, coach on right side, coach on left side, coach on right side, coach on left side,
Emerald,
they're going to get to Emerald. And, and it's just this domino thing. So it's really.
That's your push goal.
Yeah.
So you just got to remember, our vision is, I want to be 15-star. I want to be diamond. Okay, well, let's come back down here. And then let's do our push goal, and that will follow eventually. Yeah. So you want to be you want to go ahead and get yourself 10 coaches, 5 on each side, Sonia.
So I'm more focused on, so I'm still focused on getting people into the program and then helping them become preferred customers, and then working with them so that they can have their own coaching experience and try to build up their downline.
Yep.
So I'm focused on that, and also working with the coaches on building theirs simultaneously.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you ever do your gem test yet, Sonia?
No, forgot all about it, so I'm glad you asked.
Get that sucker done, and Louise will get to map you out incredibly quick.
Yeah. Okay, so another example, so I have another, I'm going to do this with my challenge group, right? Setting out what their goal is and how they get there. So think about, if they want to lose 10 pounds, what do they have to do? They have to push play every day. They have to prepare their weekly meal plan. They have to go grocery shopping. They have to prep their foods, drink 8, half their body weight in water, log into the challenge group app, stay accountable. So you can line those things out and, put down whether those are daily or weekly. Like weekly, I'm going to prepare the weekly meal plan, and I'm going to go grocery shopping. I'm going to do some food prep. If I do those things, I'm going to lose that 10 pounds, or I'm whatever my goal is for that time frame. So, really just to keep it simplistic again, because you want to keep it simple. You don't want to get the other suggestion is when you're figuring out what are my activities that I could do to reach this goal, well, write down every single thing you could think you could do to get to that goal. Now pick out the ones that are high value that are going to make the most impact. Because if we try to do 15 things every day, we're not going to make an impact on getting to that goal, the end of that week goal. So you can maybe jot down, it's always good to do a brain dump it out of your head. What are all the things that I could do to get to this goal? Okay, what are the high value ones, and pick those out. Those are going to get me to my goal this week. The other, if you have time, and this kind of goes with our buckets, or he calls them a buffer block. In that buffer block, or in this extra bucket you have, where you're doing other activities that are going to help support your business while you're working on these strategic things, right? So part of it is this process control, because one of the things that I love that he says, because here's where I kind of, he talks about the pitfalls, is when we set these out originally, we kind of go on willpower a lot. We are gung-ho. We can see that vision. We really want to go for it. We define this. We're excited. We're enthusiastic. Kind of like a New Year's resolution goal. Kind of like our challengers when we first start in our groups. And then it's then kind of some willpower kicks in. It's okay, I said I was going to do this. I'm going to do this. And you make yourself do it. And then you're starting to lose that excitement. And then the willpower isn't even getting you there. And then you kind of just start, not doing it at all, or very periodically or inconsistently. And then it feels like, oh, this just doesn't work. Well, it does. And so one of the things he says, without the structural and environmental support, follow through becomes a constant exercise of willpower. So these actions, although they're going to be uncomfortable, especially in the beginning, again, like in our challenge groups, it always goes back to that for me. One of the things, change is just difficult. It's one of the things to identify the actions needed to create a better result. Is a whole other thing to consistently do them. So then we start relying on willpower. But if you are going to achieve what you're capable of, which is the sky's the limit, you can't leave it to willpower alone. You have to have process controls, use the tools and events to create support structures that can augment and in some cases take the place of your willpower. So whether or not you've got a surplus of discipline on any particular day or not, you work your plan, right? So the thing is, if you define this goal and you define the cup, 3, 4, 5 major activities that are going to get you to that goal, and you do those in that week, you hit it 85% at least, and we'll talk about scoring here in just a second, then you're going to at some point hit that goal. It may not seem like it, especially in the beginning, but you will get there because it is about taking consistent action. And again, you take the action, you leave the outcome, the results up to, they're going to fall where they fall. But if you're taking consistent action, you will get results. So on the scoring, say I want to hit Success Club 6 every month or Success Club 10 every month. Then I need to invite, at least 5 people, 3 to 5 people a day. So pick that number. I need to invite 3 people a day. So that's going to be my goal. I need to start 10 conversations a day. I need to follow up with the previous day's people. My son just hurt himself. Are you okay? So then at the end of the week, so you figure, okay, if I'm doing 3 invites a day, and I'm working 6 days a week, that's 18 invites for the week. Then you want to look back at your tracker, because I know everybody's tracking, right? And you want to see, okay, I invited 15 people, and then you would calculate that out on what that percentage is. And, again, like I just mentioned, some of this is going to be like, oh, this is difficult, this is hard, this is change. Yeah, it's going to feel weird in the beginning, but it's process control, but you have to have a process to be able to control. So, so if you said you were going to do 18 invites and you did 15, that's 83%, right? So you're borderline. Like, I wouldn't feel bad about that, but know that there's room for improvement. If you're only hitting 50% and you're hitting 50%, 3 weeks in a row, you're not going to get to your goal. Chances are you're not going to get to your goal, right? So it's just that thing that helps you be the driver. And again, this isn't about, the measuring and the scoring isn't about making you feel bad about anything. It's just a way you have to, like we tell our challengers, you have to have a goal that you can measure, because you cannot improve on what you do not measure. So if you're constantly hitting 50% of that particular action item, then you need to look at what are the obstacles and the struggles that you're having, how to overcome them, and then at some point you may need to adjust your goal or your action, but you want to definitely work with, and we're going to have weekly accountability. You have a success partner and work with them, because you don't want to, in our mind, we will just say, oh, that's not going to happen for me. I'm just not going to do that anymore. You have to have the ownership and the accountability. Only you can do that. But if you work with a success partner, then they're going to help, like, you can do it. You said you want to do it. This is why you said you wanted to do it. Is it still important to you? So that's good to have. Okay. So if you're, okay, let's get to the time buckets then, because I should close this up here pretty quick. So on your weekly routine, you definitely want to set time on either Sunday night or Monday morning and figure out what your week's going to look like. Look at your list of what your weekly goals are and what the actions you are, and line it out. If you're working a full-time job away from home, so you've got a 12, 15-hour day, say 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. You put your 9 to 5 job in there. You see what time frames you have left over, and then what other commitments that you might have, and you're going to see what time you have available to be able to do those critical tasks, the vital behaviors, the vital actions that we need to take to advance our business. Nani has a video, and it's about the 5 buckets. So you want to be able to make sure you have personal time, your me time. You've got to have your family time. You've got to have your beach body, where you're doing these strategic actions that are going to get you to your goal. The book talks about a buffer block of time, and that's for taking care of anything like emails and maybe replying to some messages, things that aren't in your strategic daily actions. What was that? Family, me, beach body. What? You're muted. I have mine.
BB organization, BB personal, me time. You got the rest?
Admin, yeah. Yeah, me time, family time. So admin work, which would be in this 12-week, it would be the buffer block. Your beach body personal time, and then your beach body organization. So that actually has 3 buckets of beach body, depending on what your life looks like and your amount of time that you have. Like I know Sonia has a separate business, and so she has her Just Botanicals time block, right? Where she has critical things she has to do for that. So again, that's another thing. Like, work with your coach. Here's my goals. Here's what I have available. How can I get there? So that's where we roadmap you, okay? So I know it all sounds very confusing and like, how am I going to do this? I mean, to me, it's like, it's very logical, but until you start writing this out and looking it out on paper and getting your actual calendar out and looking at that, looking at what your other commitments are, family time and stuff, when you start mapping that out, it gets to look, there's your structure that helps support you so that you don't have to run around like a crazy woman trying to get everything done, right? And then staying up until midnight. So the thing is, if you put this into place and you stay consistent with it and you stay true to it, you'll actually have more time. Because if you take that specific time for these daily actions that are going to get you to your goal, you'll have it done. Then you can go and do your family time, right? Like, you can just leave it and know you did it. And if you're doing it at least 85% to 100% consistently, you're going to hit that goal. Part of it is just trusting in the process.
I switched mine up, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'll share mine real quick. So this is mine. So last year I had it separate when we did the 5 buckets. So when you do the 5 buckets, you guys go and make your calendar. So mine is 5:30 in the morning I begin. That's my me time. Okay. And then of course take out the dog, And you guys gotta remember, so I'm totally retired now from my cosmetology career, right? So yeah, do I have all the time in the world? No, but I want to still treat this like a part-time job. So that's what the buffers are. So here I have BB personal work, 9 to noon. BB personal work is me getting closer to my goals. So that's on my invites and all that stuff. then I do the lunch deal, then I do a little bit of admin work is where I'm getting all my posts and my stuff together and, you know, whatever I have to do for admin work. Whatever you got to catch up on, like I'm going to go and check out Louise's stuff. That's admin work. I'm going to get into her office and get all that stuff printed out. Then laundry, dishes, personal. And then at nighttime, I go and do my BB organizational. So you guys have to definitely make sure you go and put it on paper. You know, that's important too. So we can make all these plans, right? But we got to totally implement it.
Yeah, because we want you to definitely work smarter and not harder. It is totally doable. If you have a plan and you work your plan, you will get there, and you will get there with a lot less frustration and, you know, being overwhelmed. And it is a lot to do with the mindset. So definitely make sure you're doing your personal development. So I'll just close with this, that like in here, one of the chapters, the last chapter I was reading is take back control of your day. And that really is, you know, we want to be able to do this effectively so that we benefit, so that our customers benefit, so that our family life is better, you know, that we can start achieving some of those financial goals, getting our products paid for and that kind of thing, you know, without pulling our hair out and getting frustrated and, you know, not sleeping enough, which is I'm working on. But the choices that you make on how you spend your time ultimately create the results in life, your results in life. And that just applies to everything, right? So the way this falls out is I love it. And you're going to love it if you do this. Create that vision. Do the vision board. We do it in quadrants. So we have a 12-week year. Identify those big goals that you want to work on in this 12 weeks. And even everything in my quadrant, I may not be actively working on because I don't want to overwhelm, but I picked the big ones. So those are the ones that I'm going to be very strategic about, because some of the others are going to fall into place just because. Then break it down so you know what those little push goals are that are going to push you towards achieving that goal. Be consistent with spending time on Sunday or Monday morning in lining out what your week looks like. Like for me, I'm a work-at-home mom. Sometimes I have a field trip or a dentist appointment, and I need to know when those fall into my week so that I can plan my week out accordingly. So be consistent with doing that. And then, and that part of that Sunday, Monday routine is scoring yourself. So look back at what last week was like and where you did well and where you can do better or where you may need help. And don't forget to reach out and ask for help. And we will be, you know, as coaches, checking in with our coaches it's important to have that weekly accountability. You're taking ownership. These are your goals. You're going to put in the work for it. We want to help you as much as we can. So that's why you want to score yourself and let us know where do you need help. You know, apply all these things to your fitness journey and how you share your journey and how you're helping your customers. And, you know, and don't forget to do those time blocks. So if you haven't seen Nani's 5-bucket time management piece, do that. If you haven't gotten the 12-week, either book or Audible, listen to that. And if any questions anytime, definitely talk with us. So
Louise, that thing from Barnes and Noble,
yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
How much was one of those?
I don't know.
Okay, so this is my deal, you guys. So we're all eventually going to have coaches, right? So at least go and get 2 of them. And don't you guys get them before the 7th, because I got to go into town for Super Saturday. I'm going to buy my coaches a bunch. So I'm going to get like 5, you guys, just 5, say, okay? And I'm just going to have it on the side. Because for a new coach, the 12 weeks going to scare them. So I'm going to go ahead and have them do the 12-week. I'm going to have them just do 1 week at a time.
It's really cool because it's like a tablet of paper.
Thanks, Jolene.
And so this next week I can jot down things. If something comes up, I can just flip it over. Oh, on that week, like I did, you know, like this is like a couple of weeks out that I got to remember to do that. Right. So
that would be ideal just to have for you girls who have, well, when Louise closes this down, we can chat after.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So if you have any questions, ask below. All right, everybody. Thanks for being on the call. I